Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a random video maybe, but it's going to be a get to know me video style Q&A thing. So I started this channel I think like 5 months ago now, which it has honestly flown by. Like I can't believe that I started this channel 5 months ago, but I did. And I feel like I just kind of launched into it and never really did like a get to know me video, so now is kind of the time to do it. Just kind of feel like I launched straight into my first video and I never really did anything to say like who I am, why I'm doing this, just like little bits about me, just for you guys to get to know me a little bit better, because obviously if you are watching my videos, thank you so much by the way, but if you are, then maybe you want to know a little bit about the YouTuber, you know, maybe you want to get to know me a little bit better. So that is the purpose of today's video. I hope that you enjoy it. Thank you for watching my videos if you have been consistently since I started. Obviously I know I've never done like a get to know me thing, but thank you just for choosing my channel to watch whenever you want to put on a YouTube video. Like it means so much to me and I can't believe that people actually want to do that, so thank you so much. So I'm going to be running through about 10 questions today and they're just kind of all random questions. I've been very inspired by the lovely Georgia Wilcock. I've kind of like pinched some questions from her video, so go check hers out if you haven't already. And yeah, it's kind of like, she called it the law rundown, which I love that. But I've like pinched some questions from hers and then added a few of my own questions to answer. So I thought that would be, yeah, just a little disclaimer, I have been very inspired by Georgia. I will link her video down below. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so question number 1 is, where am I from? So I'm actually from the UK, obviously. I don't know if you can tell by my accent, but I am from the north of the UK, so I also feel like that's very obvious if you know UK accents. My accent is northern. I am from Yorkshire. Yeah, I'm from Yorkshire, and I feel like that's kind of obvious by my accent. I personally don't think that I have like a strong accent, but I think that's just because of where you live. You kind of are blind to your accent, if you know what I mean, because then now I'm at uni, I have a lot of friends that live in London and are from the south and things, and they all think I have a strong accent. So I think it just depends on where you're from, but I never thought I had like a strong accent, but apparently I do, so not sure about that one. I am also trying to do these questions kind of like quick fire, because one thing about me is I can sit and I can talk and I'm really trying not to do that today. So the next question is, what am I doing right now? Like, what am I doing in life right now? That kind of thing. So if you didn't know already, I have said it like in multiple videos, but I am a student. I do go to university. I do fashion marketing at uni. I enjoy the course. I've always kind of wanted to do fashion. I did fashion in college as well, and yeah, I knew that I was going to do like a fashion degree, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. I love learning about things within the fashion industry. I love like the marketing side of things though. I knew that I wasn't going to pursue like the kind of more technical side of things, like sewing and design and things like that. I'm definitely more of like a fan of the whole like graphic design type thing, like digital elements. I love like going on Photoshop and like Adobe, that kind of thing. Like I've never really been someone who loved sewing in college. I did it obviously, but I knew that I wasn't going to pursue that like in uni or anything in the future. It's just so complex, and like hat off to anyone who is a brilliant sewer or seamstress, because it could not be me. I mean, I'm not bad, but it's just like not my passion. Okay, the next question is why I started BookTube, and this one is kind of like, I'm not really too sure, but I feel like it's because I definitely lacked confidence before I started posting on like my book accounts. I definitely lacked confidence in myself, and I lacked confidence in what I could do and what I was capable of. I always used to second guess literally posting. Like, I don't know why, I used to always be like, oh, I can't post that, it's horrible, everyone's gonna see it and be like, oh blah 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 blah. And I used to get in my head about literally just posting on my account. Like, that is so silly. I don't know why I was like that, but then one day I was like, you just have to post. You have to do this for yourself. You have to make this account and just start posting, because no one's going to do it for you. Like, if you want to do this, then you have to do it. So I just decided to bite the bullet and just go for it, because I have watched booktube for so long. I literally have watched BookTok for so long as well, and I was always like, I really want to do that. Like, I'm so sad that I can't do that. I just really want to be involved in that community and all this kind of thing. And I always used to be like quite sad that I had no one to talk to about books with, and I just, like, I feel like I was just bombarding my boyfriend with information about the books that I was reading, and he didn't have a clue what I was on about. So I was just like, but why can I not do it? You know, like, I'm telling myself, I wish I could do that, but why can't you? So one day I was just like, just go for it. Have some confidence in yourself. And it's honestly been one of the best things I've ever done. My confidence has just gone so much higher and better from doing this. And I feel like I kind of know myself a bit more now. I'm more confident in myself. I'm more confident as a person. And I love posting so much. It's also made me realise how much I love yapping to a camera. I love editing. I love making thumbnails. I love the whole creative side of things. It's made me read more. I love discussing books with other people. It's just made me so much more involved in the bookish community, and I love it so much. I think it's like definitely worked wonders on my confidence, and it's made me realise how much I love this channel, how much I love creating, and it's honestly been one of the best things I've ever done. So thank you to anyone watching my videos, because you are helping me so much. The next question is, when did I get back into reading? And this one is a good question, because I, as a child, was such an avid reader. Like, I was that kid that always had their nose in a book. I was always reading. I used to treasure my books so much, and I was just kind of obsessed with reading. And then after that whole era, I would say when I started high school, I just didn't read anymore. I stopped reading completely. I only read if I had to for school, and like that was it, and I was not enjoying it at all. I didn't have that drive to pick up a book. I didn't want to. I wasn't interested by it. And then it kind of came to, I want to say, lockdown, and that's when I was like, I'm so bored, I have nothing to do, like I need to have something to do right now. So I decided to pick up a book. I had no clue what books were good and what books were popular, that kind of thing. I just literally would go on Amazon and I would be like, best books right now. I would like go on Google and be like, what are the best books right now? And then whatever it came up with, I'd be like, okay, add to basket, I guess, I'll read that one. And then I'd just order it, read it, and then I'd get the next one, read it, next one, read it. And I think that lasted for like a good couple months, and I was loving it. I was kind of like binge reading these books. I read Misery in that time. I was mainly reading like thrillers and suspense. I read a lot of thrillers, actually, like really good ones as well. I read The One by John Mars. That's to this day one of my favourite thrillers ever. If you guys need a good thriller, please give that one a go, because it's so good. I then kind of just stopped. It kind of like, I burnt out, I would say. It was like loads and loads and loads and loads to like nothing. So then I just stopped reading, and after that, I would say, when was the next time I read? I think 2021, I want to say I picked up a book again, and I'm not sure why I did. I think a BookTok video came up and it kind of inspired me, because I wasn't like on BookTok, and then I was like, guess I'll pick up another book. So I actually got Perks of Being a Wallflower for, I think, like my birthday or for Christmas, something like that. I got it for one of those, I think my birthday, and then I read that book, started reading it. It took me about 4 months to finish reading it, which for me now is like crazy. Obviously, if that's your speed, like there's nothing wrong with that, but just for me now, the pace I read, that is very slow for me. And it took me like 4 months to finish it. I would read like a page a day at one point. Like, I was not in it, but like I still wanted to be in it, but you know, I think I just picked up the wrong book for me. And then after that book, it was when Bridgerton was kind of popular. So I decided, you know what, I want to read the Bridgerton books. So I picked up the first one after watching the series, and then I read that. This could be so wrong, the timelines could be off here, but I'm hoping that they're right. And then my friend actually recommended to me It Ends With Us, and I was like, okay, like I guess I've got nothing else to read, I'll read it. So I decided to read It Ends With Us, and that is the book that like secured the reading era for me. It secured my love for reading, and to that I will thank Colleen Hoover, because she did get me into reading. I read that book, literally loved it so much, and I was like, I've been missing out on this like romance genre. I can't believe that I've not been reading this before. I was obsessed. I was like, I didn't know reading could be this fun. And then from there I went on a massive Colleen Hoover binge, read loads of Colleen Hoover books, and then I like started delving into different authors from there, and ever since I've just been obsessed with reading. I mean, I'm not saying that within those years I've not had like slumps, because I have had slumps, especially when you start back up with school and uni and stuff like that, but I've never like actively stopped reading since then, and I don't think I will anytime soon. I've got my channel, I've got my bookcase that I'm obsessed with. Like, I think this hobby is here to stay, and I want that library one day, guys. I want my room, like in my future house, I want a room with floor to ceiling library shelves and like a ladder. That is the ultimate dream, am I right? Now the next question is, what star sign am I? Like zodiac sign. And I don't know if any of you could have guessed this one. Maybe I'll give you like 10 seconds to guess. 10 seconds to guess right now what star sign I am. Who can guess it? Who can guess it? I don't know if it's obvious. Is it an obvious thing? Who knows? I'm not like that big into star signs, but sometimes I do like to think like, oh, you're a da-da-da-da, you're a da-da-da-da. But yeah, my star sign is a Pisces, if anyone guessed that, if anyone feels like I give off that vibe. I am a Pisces. Yeah. My birthday is March. I could get this so wrong, but I think, so I know that my sun sign is Pisces, and then I think my moon is Taurus, and my rising is Cancer. Or it could be like those switched, I'm not sure, but it's definitely Taurus and Cancer that are my other big three. Not sure if I give off that energy or whatever, but that is my star sign. The next question is, who are my favourite booktubers? Like, I am the type of person who would rather honestly put on a booktube video than an actual TV series. Like, I love booktube so much. It just gives me so much comfort and so much warmth to watch people's videos. I love them so much. It inspires me to read. I just think watching a booktube video is just the most wholesome thing ever. And yeah, my favourite ones, I mean, of course we've got to mention like Sarah Caroli, Destiny Sidwell, Hayley Farm. Like, love those three so much. I literally will watch any video they put out. I'm there, I'm watching it the whole way through. Love their videos so much. I also love Rachel Catherine. She's one of my comfort booktubers. She is just so sweet. She's such a kind soul. I also love Shaughnessy Schroeder. I love Emmy Rossum. I love, if I pronounce any of like these guys' names wrong as well, like, I'm very sorry. I love Steph Boa, I think. I love Madison Kate. I love Larry Reeds, of course. I love Ellen Catherine. Just, there's so many. I'll pop any that I forget on like the screen, but there's so many booktubers that I just love their content so much. Ashlyn, and her husband. Yeah, there's so many. So many booktubers. If you have any that you want to recommend me to watch as well, let me know, because I'm always open to watching new booktubers. The next question is honestly a very difficult question, and that is 3 books I would like to take to a desert island with me. Like, if I had to go to a desert island and I was stranded, what would those 3 books be? And right off the bat, I'm gonna go with A Court of Mist and Fury. Court of Mist and Fury, love that book so much. I would take that, because I could reread that book a million times over and never get bored. I love it so much. It gives me such a nostalgic feeling for some reason. Like, I love that book. I would also take one of the Boys of Tommen books. I think maybe Keeping 13. I love the Boys of Tommen series so much, and I feel like I could reread that book a lot as well, although it is a painful book to read because obviously a lot of horrible stuff happens, but I love the characters so much, and I feel like Johnny and Shannon have my heart forever. I love them. I'm very stuck on what would be the last book I would take to a desert island. I'm kind of trying to think. I'm like, perusing the shelves trying to think what that book would be. Okay, that book would be Heartless by Elsie Silver, because I feel like it's a fun book. It's like a small town cowboy romance. You've got good vibes going on. I love the characters, Cade and Willa. We've got the found family of the Eaton like brothers. I think that would be a great book to bring. It would bring the vibes up, you know, it would bring the vibes right up. The next question I'm actually going to kind of class as like the last two questions, because it's kind of a big one and I'm going to have to like put a lot of thought into it, because it is my 5 top 5s. I don't know if anyone has seen this trend going around on Instagram or maybe TikTok as well, but it is your 5 top 5s. So you have your 5 top books, you have your 5 top TV shows, your 5 top songs, your 5 top albums, and your 5 top films, maybe the last one is, I think. So I'm gonna have to like rack my brain for what my favourites are, because honestly I'm the type of person where if you ask me what my favourite film is, all of my favourite films will leave my brain and I will forget them all and I will not know what to say. So this is going to be a bit of a hard question. After a lot of deliberation and a lot of thought, I have come up with my top 5 favourite books. Yeah, that's the one. So first off, we have Heartless by Elsie Silver. It's small town cowboy romance. It's good vibes. I love Cade and Willa and I love Elsie Silver's writing style. I think that she is one of the best small town romance authors and I loved this book so much. The next one comes as no surprise. We have A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. This one is my favourite fantasy book ever. I just love everything about it. It's got like such a strong feeling of nostalgia with it for me. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just the time that I read it and the fact that it's one of my favourite ever, like my first favourite fantasy book. I love the found family. I love the progression, the storyline that we got. I love the world. I love Rhysand and I love Feyre. And I think it's just such an incredible instalment to the like A Court of Thorns and Roses series. Then I have just a bit of a switch up, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. This is my favourite ever classic book. I love it so much. I think about it quite a lot and I love how it's not perfect. The characters are not perfect, but the story is just so gothic and it's so beautiful and I love how, I don't know, I think it just kind of holds a special place for me because I don't usually enjoy classic books, but I really enjoy this one and I think about it quite a lot. So this one has a special place for me. Then we have Redeeming Six by Chloe Walsh. This one for me will stay with me forever. I know I just said I'd take Keeping 13 with me to a desert island, but the thing is, Joey and Aoife are at the top for me, and this book just like took me on the most intense roller coaster I've ever been on whilst reading. I think the storyline is so sad, but you just are rooting for him and her the whole way through. And yeah, it's just, I'll never forget about this book. And I want to reread the series, but at the same time I don't, because they're so sad and I don't know if I want to like go through that again. But yeah, this book is incredible and I love it so much. I can't wait for the next installment in the Boys of Tommen series. This book as well is actually like 900 pages, over 900 pages, but it's thinner than Binding and Keeping because they like made the pages really thin for some reason. But yeah, this one is like 900 pages and I read it so fast. I've never read a book so fast than I have with this whole series. And my last top 5 book would be Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. This book is the last one that we've kind of got at the moment from the Magnolia Parks / Daisy Hates series. It's definitely the last installment of BJ and Magnolia's story and I think it was so well done. We've really got to see such incredible character development in this book, and you kind of the whole way through the series are like hating the characters. You're like, why do they do these things? And then this book just wrapped everything up so nicely and we realised why they are the way they are and how much they are changing and just how much they need each other. And it was so beautiful. I loved it so much. I think about this book a lot as well. Again, humongous brick of a book. I actually think that I prefer huge books. Like, we've got 3 huge ones here, because you just get so much more of the story and the characters. I think it makes you love them more, you know? Moving on to my top 5 TV shows. My top 5 TV shows are kind of like comfort ones in a way. Like, I'm very much a person who likes to watch the same TV show over and over and over again instead of starting a new one. Yeah, that's just me as a person. My first favourite TV series is Gilmore Girls. I watch this show all year round. Like, as soon as I finish it, I start it again. I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. So Gilmore Girls for the win for me. The next one actually goes against what I just said because it is a new show, but I literally loved it so much. Like, I was sad when it finished, and this does not happen often to me, and that is Rivals. It's like the adaptation of Jilly Cooper's book. It was so good. Like, the casting, the costumes, the setting, the plot. I was like hooked, and I can't wait for season 2 because if you've not watched Rivals yet, guys, you need to watch it. Again, my third one at the moment, which kind of goes against what I just said, is Tell Me Lies, which had me hooked the whole way through. And again, I can't wait for the next season because that show is wild. Like, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I need season 3. Like, that was such a good show. My next favourite show is Friends. I mean, I just feel like you can't go wrong with Friends. It's just good all year round. It's such like a light hide comfort show for me. I just love having it on in the background, and yeah, I'm a Friends lover. That's definitely up there for me. I think my last favourite TV show is actually Sex and the City. I have like the DVDs of the series. I love it so much. I just love having it on in the background. I think it's such a good like TV show about friendship, and I love it. I love the films as well. I love the New York setting. Anything in New York for me, sold. Okay, so my top 5 favourite albums, which is kind of a hard one because I don't necessarily listen to albums often, like just on their own, but we'll give it a go. So my top 5 are short and sweet, Sabrina Carpenter, love her. Love Miss Sabrina Carpenter so much. We've got Folklore by Taylor Swift. That is by far my favourite Taylor Swift album. I'm so obsessed with the vibes of that album. I love it so much. Then, a bit random, I have Starboy by The Weeknd. I don't know why, but I just love like all the songs on that album. I just think it's an absolute banger of an album, and the songs are just like so good to listen to. Then I've got Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish. I love this album so much. I think it's such a good album to just put on in the car when you're driving. There's like so many good songs on the album. I don't know, I'm not really cut out for describing albums, guys. And then I think my last one would be Positions by Ariana Grande. I just love this album so much. Like, I don't know why, I always go back to it. You know that album that you always go back to? That's me with this album. Next is my top 5 favourite films, which I actually find quite difficult to narrow down. I don't know, I just feel like there's so many films out there that I'm always bound to forget one, but we're just gonna go with what's come to mind first. So we've got Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I am a massive Harry Potter fan. I don't know if you can see them there. I love Harry Potter so much, but specifically the Half-Blood Prince film. That film for me is just like perfection. I love it so much. Then I really love the film called The Fundamentals of Caring. It's got like Paul Rudd in it, Selena Gomez. I just think it's such a heartwarming film, and I watch it like at least once a year. Like, I always go back to it. I always think about it as well. I just think it's such a heartwarming film. I love that film so much. If you've not seen it, I think it's on Netflix. It's really good. Then in more of a thriller section, I've got Gone Girl, which I know is a book, but I really like the film adaptation of it. Like, that film, I always try to find a film that's gonna like be the same vibe as that. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know, because me and my boyfriend love Gone Girl so much, but we can never find a film that like gives us the same feeling that we felt when we watched Gone Girl, you know? Then I've got Bridget Jones's Diary. Honestly, any Bridget Jones film, I'm a massive Bridget Jones fan. I think they're so funny, they're so comforting. Like, they are a comfort film to me. I will put that film on anytime. Like, it just makes me feel like, I love it so much. I don't know, I think the first one is maybe my favourite just because it's like the first one, but I do love them all, and I know that one's coming out in February, which I'm literally ecstatic about. I can't wait. I can't wait. And then last but not least, I've got 27 Dresses. Like, it's just such a good rom-com. I love it. I love the whole premise. I think the ending's great. I just love it. I think it's just one of those rom-coms that I watched and it just stuck with me. I was like, I love it. I love this rom-com. And last but not least is my 5 favourite songs, which honestly is like impossible for me because I'm changing my favourite song every week. I'm not someone who like has just 5 collective favourite songs in their head at all times and they're like, that's my favourite song. I'm just someone who changes it up every single week. I like pick 5 songs, listen to them on repeat and then get bored of them and then go to the next 5 songs. Maybe that's a bad thing about me, but yeah, that's just what I do. But one song I will say that's coming to mind right now is The Last Great American Dynasty by Taylor Swift. I love that song. I think it's like a great storytelling song. It's from my favourite Taylor Swift album, Folklore, What's Not to Love. I think it just like is the perfect song to put on while reading as well. I always like put that one on when the book's getting a bit deep, a bit emotional, you know? It's a great backing track. The next song on this list is Small Town Boy, which is kind of a random one, but I just love that song. I think that is like my perfect song to put on when I'm driving and I'm like, you know, but like I'm driving maybe on a night and that song is playing, like that's for me. The next song is Man Eater by Daryl Jones and John Oates. I just love that song. Like I obviously like Nelly Furtado's one and stuff like that, but just that one, the OG one, is just, it's just such a good song. It's a banger every time. Like when that comes on shuffle, I'm like, yes. The next one, the 4th one I think, is The Exit by Conan Gray. When this song comes on, I feel like I'm in my main character era. I feel like I'm in my main character moment. And I get really dramatic when it comes on. Like I love that song. I love walking to that song. I think it's like a great one to put on when you're reading as well. I think honestly any of Conan Gray's songs are good for when you're reading. But I will say that song does remind me of the Boys of Tommen series because I listen to it a lot whilst reading. So now I kind of like associate that song to those characters and that's kind of like traumatic. And finally, my 5th favourite song is Gypsy by Fleetwood Mac. I think it's just such a good like peaceful in a way kind of song. Like it's like dancey. It just makes you want to like bop that shoulder, you know, bop that shoulder. Can't get enough of it. That one like never gets old for me. Like it's on every playlist I think that I literally have ever made. So that is my top 5 my top 5 fives. That is my 5 top 5s. There we go. And that is a little bit about me. That is kind of like a get to know me questionnaire type of thing. I'm not sure if this was interesting or just like really boring, but I thought I'd do one just in case. Thought I'd do want to put one out there. But thank you so much for watching today's video and thank you for watching any previous videos. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for joining me and I hope to see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Bye guys.